Hello and a warm welcome to Federal special program Capital Beat. While Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been making strategic appeals for cutting down fuel consumption amidst the West Asia crisis, his own Bengal Chief Minister Suvendu Adhikari was seen traveling today by a chartered flight to Delhi. Now he's trolled online big time. People are saying that is all the austerity for the common man alone. Similarly, now I want to, in fact, show you the visuals first of Shuvendu Adhikari traveling by a chartered flight where people are questioning him online that look the way how he's flouting his own prime minister's strategic appeals on fuel consumption. Now look at this Shuvendu Adhikari. He's reaching Delhi. In fact, he's already in Delhi. He was traveling by a chartered flight. And just a few days ago, the same Shuvendu Adhikari was seen in a convoy on the streets of Bengal. Abhirami, if you're there backstage, can you show those visuals? Now, this is just a few days back. I think not too long ago, 3 days ago, this was the kind of convoy which was seen. Now, look at the number of cars. On the front car, you can see Shuvendu Adhikari perched on the top, and behind him, the motorcycles, the long convoy of cars. Now, here is another, I want to show you another. This is just one example I've given you. Now, this is another example of a convoy in Madhya Pradesh. This was seen just about 3 days ago. Now, these are all the appeals which Prime Minister has made, and his own people are flouting this. Now, you saw how Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, his picture was out in the public domain saying that he was traveling in the economy class after PM made those appeals. But just a day later, there was another convoy of Devendra Fadnavis which was seen. So the big question what we are asking today is that is all this austerity just a sham? Is it hypocrisy playing out to the maximum, whereas the real solution to the problem is somewhere else? And are these the real austerity measures? They have been completely misconstrued, in fact. And I will try and discuss this. Joining me this evening is Professor Santosh Mehrotra, a renowned economist, also joins us. And I think he's got disconnected. Ayushman Pandey, a lawyer activist and political analyst, also is there with us. I hope to be joined by him. Yes, Ayushman is there. Thank you so much, Ayushman, for joining on the Federal. And I'll begin with Professor Santosh Mehrotra. Professor Mehrotra, when we see a person like Shuvendu Adhikari traveling on a chartered plane, despite the strategic appeals on fuel consumption made by the Prime Minister, what would one say?
Nilu, it's laughable but then both the RSS and the BJP are known and famous for their doublespeak. I'm not excluding RSS, please appreciate that. The RSS has always talked on the one hand about Hindu-Muslim ekta, and on the other hand, their people are actually carrying out lynchings. That's just one example. There can be multiple other examples. The fact of the matter is that even in respect of these convoys, please remember that after the Prime Minister made this appeal, for days, his own convoy used to be, dozens of cars. And of course, all the chief ministers. And then when the crescendo really rose, then suddenly they woke up. Or at least his people in his entourage woke up. And he brought it down to 2. Now, here is another chief minister. I mean, it was after the PM did that there was some impact on some chief ministers. And you've already shown us what I mean when I say some chief ministers, because the Madhya Pradesh, chief ministers on entourage is looking what it is looking like. And then here is another newly crowned chief minister. After all, he is arriving in Delhi for the first time after conquering the unconquerable Bengal. So clearly, this is a moment for rejoicing. And who cares about the gas prices, the petrol prices, the diesel prices? They are all meant only for us. So this is the tragedy of this country. Double standards. The Prime Minister goes abroad and waxes eloquent about Mother India being the mother of democracy. Hey, bhai, if it's the mother of democracy, then why are you cheating in election after election? Why are you carrying out SIRs to delete voters? Why did you topple 10 governments in 10 years and tried to topple three others between 2015 and 2024 Lok Sabha election? They actually toppled 10 governments by buying them out. So,
No,
mother
but do
of
you believe,
democracy.
Professor Mehrotra, do you believe the Prime Minister, when he appeals for austerity measures like these, like cutting down or your fuel consumption, cutting down on edible oils, but the real problem is not this. Is a solution? Where do you find the solution? Is the
No, no,
solution is the solution lies in embarking on such austerity measures, which look like a sham?
no, no, of course not. You and I know, and the entire nation knows that the kind of actions that he was signaling कि आप ये करिए और आप वो करिए was really a staging ground for announcing 2 days later that we are raising the price of petrol and of diesel by 3 rupees. So, if you are very concerned about inflation, then why are you raising the price of diesel? Because diesel will actually raise the cost of production of a whole series of goods, quite apart from raising the cost of production of transporting practically every good, whether it's food or non-food items. So, they genuinely don't have the macroeconomists who will explain this to the Ministry of Finance. But when they were making money hand over fist of something like 43 lakh crores over 10 years that their government has been in power, and the international oil prices have been systematically in the range between $30 a barrel and $60 a barrel, except for a few months, 4 or 5 months after the Ukraine war broke out in 2022. For 10 years, they've had this windfall gain. Under the UPA, when we were in the planning commission, we were always struggling with this problem.
What I want you to really explain to the viewers is the fact that uh, just a few days ago, I think that story was out in the newspapers where it said that the government sources state that describing the recent economic appeals as austerity measures is misleading. Now, I want to understand from you that what did the Prime Minister mean by you please cut down on edible oils, cut down on fuel consumption, don't go abroad? What did those appeals mean then? If
The
it wasn't austerity, and then you have this drama of chief ministers talking about the austerity measures but themselves flouting it.
No, no, you're absolutely right. It's all drama. This is what I meant by saying there. Everything about them is in the nature of double speak. मतलब एक ही मुंह से दो तरीके की बातें करना. This has been what RSS has done, and these people are all trainees of the RSS. Please try and appreciate. I mean, just let me give you another example of this amazing double-facedness. When Cockroach Janata Party emerges and they get Instagram followers on which are way above the number of Instagram followers of BJP. Huh? The BJP followers are in the number of 9 million. In 4 days, Cockroach Janata Party, their followers go up to 13 million. So what does the IT and the media cell of the BJP put out? They say, oh, you know what? Here is the reality about the Cockroach Janata Party. That 90% plus of the followers of the Cockroach Janata Party are from Bangladesh and Pakistan, or from the United States. So when Abhishek Dipke, the president, he learnt of this, he put out the data. And the data turns out that 19 actual data turns out that 99% of the
People from India.
followers are Indian. Why are you surprised? You've done nothing to create jobs. If you read my latest book, which is now available on Amazon, it's called India Out of Work. It is talking about these very young people. Now, the rate of unemployment was in 2017, thanks to your great revolutionary demonetization, which no country in the world had ever done in their history. That great revolutionary action, the next year, and then the great revolutionary action of a badly designed and poorly implemented GST led to the highest unemployment rate in 2017. Since 2017, this country has been in a absolute mess. More interesting. I mean, I'm going to give you some your listeners some really interesting data. You see, they have been claiming that India has been growing at something close to 6.5 to 7% per annum for 10 years. Now, the interesting thing is that Arvind Subramaniam and one of the Indian Economic Service officers, who's not an Indian Economic Service officer any longer, and an ex-IMF scholar, they put out just last month, put out a new working paper on the Peterson Institute where they do some very systematic analysis, where they show that after 2012 until 2023, the government of India has been claiming a growth rate which is at least 1.5 to 2 percentage points higher than it should be. Now, I don't think your program is such that I can walk you through what are the reasons they give. And it's not just that, they're so full of doublespeak, they also had done the following, that they don't not only increase the growth rate that they for their period, they reduced the growth rate for the period when UPA was in power. You understand? Can you imagine? This is the kind of government, never in the history of our country have we had this kind of government.
Right.
Now, all of us have been saying for years, I should tell you, heterodox economists, just two more sentences, Nilu, and I'll shut up, that because of the demonetization, GST, and the badly designed lockdown and then the health response, the economy had suffered a massive decline in jobs and closure of MSMEs. Massive. There was
Right.
physical evidence from all over the country. Okay. Now, these people just refuse to recognize that. So, because they refuse to recognize that, they continue to use the same old methodology to estimate the GDP. So, here is yet another, I mean, which is an extremely damning critique. So, what we get now as a result of this is confirmation of what the heterodox economists who are outside the government had been saying.
Right.
Now, suddenly, एक वाक्य और सुन लो. Surjit Bhalla's song has changed. Surjit Bhalla, who is the government economist, is saying, अरे कुछ वो नहीं हो रहा है, प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं हो रहा है और एफडीआई नहीं आ रहा है. अरे भाई, एफडीआई क्यों आएगा जब when you can't get your own corporates to invest, what makes you think that the foreign direct investors are going to come bring money in?
Absolutely.
So, this government is just unbelievable.
Right.
And
No, you explained it very well, Professor Mehrotra, that how the economic fundamentals have completely shifted. They've got it horribly wrong. But look at the sham which the leaders put up. And Aishman, I want to come to you. Now, there are two, three points. Why these austerity measures are called a drama. Now, first point, of course, if you look at is the shift of onus. Now, why it's being critiqued is that all the responsibility of skipping meals and working from home, avoiding buying gold is meant for the middle class, but not for the VVIP or the so-called politicians. So there is a shift of owners, there is political hypocrisy involved, and there is more of optics over substance, like what Professor Mehrotra just explained, that they should They've not got the economic fundamentals right, and now they've shifted completely everything again back to the middle class. What would you really say to optics in the name of austerity?
Yes, namaskar. देखिए, before I begin, I must clarify that I am associated with a political party called Congress, but I'm not their spokesperson. These views are completely mine. So I'll start with this caveat. Um, I get this from Professor Mehrotra and Professor Arun Kumar only. I think they have talked in the past about this. Why? What is this austerity, drama, optics? In fact, as Professor Mehrotra says, double speak. Now, uh, George Orwell, who uses double speak for the first time, he uses it in the context that one thing is being said and another thing is being meant. I would say that is not correct. In my personal view, RSS and its political arms have been saying, doing exact, not saying, doing precisely what they mean. They have been turning citizens into subjects. So whether it is demonetization or the terrible GST or the lockdown that happened during COVID or any other measures that they have taken, see, subjects under a what can I say under this thing when there are, a regime is there, the subjects are not asked questions and they are not allowed to ask questions. For instance, Mr. Modi goes to a foreign land, a journalist asks a question, questions him there, he doesn't answer. To my understanding, he cannot answer, because if he answers there, then his subjects are going to say, why do you answer there and why don't you answer our questions? So it's the same thing. So what he's doing outside, the people of this country, middle class, lower class, all classes, except the 3% top bracket, everybody else is a subject in this country, and they are being treated like that. They are being told that you should know your place and understand your position by now in the economic structure of India. There is a very old economic structure that this country has been proposing. I will not go into the terminology of Brahmanwad, etc. But that is it, precisely what they are trying to do. They are trying to explain to this country and its people, you are not. In fact, we have recently seen that they have taken citizenship away. What is this?
No,
What is citizenship?
also, the kind of appeal which the Prime Minister
Hmm.
has made, doesn't it almost look like those?
You read it as an appeal. You read
No,
it as an appeal. He is making a statement.
no,
I
no.
am not even reading it as an appeal. He is not appealing to anyone.
Just hear me out. Even if he's making a
Yes.
statement, is it not like a
Yeah.
wartime style statement, which in times of war you make? Now, what does that
Yeah.
mean? Is Prime Minister seriously acknowledging the fact that there is a serious economic crisis due to which the entire country should come together? Today, I was watching a clip where even Kamal Hassan has come and appealed to the people that now we should stand with the nation in times of in
Exactly.
times of crisis. Kamal Hassan has come up with a video like this. Yes.
Yes. 8th November 2016. What was the emergency? See, he always makes these. These are the appeal. This is his manner of telling people what they are supposed to be doing in future. Mr. Bhalla comes and says that FDI is gone, private investment is gone. What is he doing? My point of view is he's telling, forget about what happened in the past, last 20, 12 years. Tell us what we are going to do in the future. With due apologies to Professor Mehrotra, he has mentioned Cockroach Janata Party, and I associate myself with a political party. I would say that this is a setup also. See, they have been idea farming from the very beginning. They have been changing names of policies of the previous governments. Now, the other political parties are not giving them solutions. What do? They have a large epidemic or employment epidemic in this country. How do they deal with it? Nobody is telling them anything. See, so what they do is they are idea farming from other people, and allowing other people. So this specifically the shutdown of the Instagram and every post made it very clear to me they want to promote that idea of cockroach Janata Party. so that more people are associated, more youngsters are associated. See, once that is done, once youngsters are together under one head, they can always bring the head to them their own corner. It's going to be very easy. So you have to understand they need ideas. Nobody is giving them ideas. Professor Mehrotra is telling them what they have done in the last 12 years, not telling them what they should be doing now, because nobody wants to tell them anything. They will pick up the policy, they will use their Shri something, PM Shri, blah, blah, blah. They will not give credit to the person who comes up with the policy and when the policy, because they are inherently incompetent. When the policy is trashed by India and the world, they will say, this is the person who came up with the policy. That's what they do. Sorry,
Right.
go ahead.
No, Ayushman, so what, according to you, what do these appeals for austerity mean? Whether it is cutting down on edible oils or going low on the fuel consumption or not going abroad, what do these appeals mean? And who is following those appeals? Is it just meant for the common man? That also has to be clarified. And because Prime Minister was seen on an abroad tour where he was enjoying melody and
Melody.
all that. Yes,
Yeah.
and then after that, you see the convoys, the way they are moving, whether it is the chief ministers or their own cabinet ministers, they don't follow the appeals. The appeals are only meant for the common man.
Context is very important. I keep saying these are not appeals. These are diktats given to the 97% of this population. They are being told that, boss, cut down on these, I need more money. My corporate friends are in a lot of pain. They have to make investment in US. Please give us the money. Stop spending without any reason. What if you can't eat once a day? You will have 2 meals, or if you don't have 2 meals, you will have 1 meal a day. Cut down on your spending. Bring the money to me. That's what this is. This is a diktat. This is not an appeal.
Aishuman, would you then say that this austerity appeal has been totally been misinterpreted by the government because they know that the problem is somewhere else, but they have tried to cover it up with this war style appeals and making a statement as what you said?
No, I'm saying that these people, all their leaders are aware that what Mr. Modi has said applies to the 97% of this country, not to them. They will just need to show a little bit of, as you rightly pointed, use the word optics. That see, this is what you need to do. You need to be using bicycles. We will tell you that we have done it one day. Now we will be doing our regular thing, but you continue using the bicycle. That's what, and the rest of the BJP structure, rest of the BJP structure, the workers, the karyakartas, they are being told use bicycles so that other people learn from you. But we will use huge cavalcades. We will use helicopters for short trips and chartered planes for long trips. That's what they are telling them. See, it's not an appeal at all. Appeal is made to by a government which is bound to the people of the country. They are not bound to the people of the country.
Right.
They don't really care. They are subjects. Yeah, that's what my.
Right. Oh, I was just about to take the concluding comment from Santosh Mehrotra. I think he's got disconnected. So, Aishuman, just one last word and then I'll wind up the show. That do you believe that the government has really misunderstood this austerity measure totally? Or because they don't know how to call it? They were also saying don't use the word austerity. Last, I think about 10 or 15 days ago, the government sources were saying don't use the word austerity. But yet Prime Minister Modi is making those kind of appeals. So how does one understand?
Smart. Yeah. So the world over, smart governments started austerity measures when? Just after 28th of February, 28th of March, 28th of February. It took them 2 months to arrive there. Why? Because elections were on. So these are not austerity measures. The money has been spent already. Now the people are being told that no more, we can't afford you. Government is telling people we can't afford you. You are 140 crores. We can't afford you. Cut down on your spending. We cannot cut down on our spending. You see, that's what is happening. So That's how it goes. That's how this government works. It has always worked this way. It will always work this way, and it's going to become tougher and tougher. People have to understand the moment Mr. Modi came on the television and said this. They should understand that he's telling them you are on your own. That's what it is all about.
Right.
So,
All
Mr.
right.
Meru,
So,
oh,
right. No. I think he's got disconnected. He had messaged me that he has to attend some other program. So we'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, Ayushman, for joining on the Federal.
my pleasure. My pleasure
Thank you.
entirely.